Hello everyone and welcome to your 6th Adobe After Effects tutorial, Object Properties and the Timeline panel. In this tutorial we will get to know about the object properties and the timeline panel on how they work and what do they consist of. So let's start off by creating a new composition. Just click on here and select Tutorial 6 PAL DV 1050 by 576, 10 seconds long, background color black, hit OK. So here we have a new composition. So if you look closely here, this is called the CTI. This is the current time indicator. Now this CTI tells us that on which point of time are we currently in our composition. We will check out the object properties in this tutorial. So to do that we need an object. So I will quickly create a solid. Now how to create a solid you will get to know soon enough. So let's create a dark blue solid and make comp size and hit OK. So this is a solid created and let's check out its properties. As soon as we created the solid, a new layer was created. So this deep blue solid one is a new layer. And as I told you in the first tutorial, this program is a layer based program. So every media will occupy its own track and will be converted into layers. So this is one layer in which deep blue solid is there. When we click on this triangle of this layer, we will see that this solid has transform properties. Let's quickly check it out. Anchor point, position, scale, rotation and opacity. First we will check the scale. Scale is the size of the object or size of the layer that is selected currently. So this scale is basically this solid's size. So if I decrease the scale, let's say to 50%, then the solid just became half. In order to change the value, you can click and drag your mouse, or you can just click once and then enter a number for exact value. Now coming on to the second thing, the position. This is the X position and this is the Y position of the solid's center point. So you can see this is the solid center point, and when I put my mouse over here, you can see the position is 525, 288. So if I put my mouse in the center of this solid, you will see my position over there in the info panel as 525, 287 almost, because my mouse is not pointed currently. So the position, if I change the position, let's see the X position from 525, you will see the object will move in the X axis. If I change the Y position, the object will move in the Y. Now here comes the rotation. When you click and drag, the object will rotate. As you can see. And the opacity determines how opaque the object is. These are the basic properties of any object or any layer that come up. I have done some random animations. See, size, the position. Now if I have messed it up and if I wanted to go back to its original shape and size, I can just click reset over here and then it will reset it to its original shape, size and opacity. We'll be talking about the toolbar over here, and we will get to know about some tools and how to use them. So let's start off by creating a new composition. Tutorial 7, the basic tools. Leave the settings at default and hit OK. Now, first, let me teach you how to create a new object. In order to create a new object, there are two ways. Firstly, you can go to Layer, New, Solid, or you can right click in the empty area over here and right click New Solid. Select New Solid, and here you will see the width and height of the solid that you are going to make. And then make comp size button, just click it in order to make the solid exactly the size of your composition and hit OK. A new solid is made. So let's jump right into the tools. The first tool over here is the selection tool. Now let me make a few more objects. Okay, and one more solid, and okay, so we have three solids over here. So the selection tool is used to select any object, as we can see by its name. So just left click any layer and you can select that object. And also, for example, if I have several objects lined up randomly, let's say these three are the solids. So if I select my selection tool and then click on any object here in this composition panel, it will get selected in the timeline panel. That is, its layer will be selected if I click over here. Now, as you know, by the layer based program that I said to you in the first tutorial, so by layer based, this means that see, the orange solids layer is at the top of the cyan and blue solids. So if I keep that solid in front of these solids, then it will cover the solids of the layers that are below it. So this is what I meant by the top to bottom basis. So now moving on, the hand tool is basically used to pan over the objects and pan over the composition panel. You can just move the composition panel over by selecting the hand tool. The zoom tool is used to zoom in, and by pressing Alt you can zoom out using the zoom tool. There is a shortcut of doing it by using the mouse wheel to zoom up and down. Now the rotation tool is used to rotate any object. Just select the rotation tool, click on the object, and then you can rotate that object as you wish. We will learn to manage and work with the layers and with multiple layers. So let's start by creating a new composition. So in order to create a new composition, you can go to composition, new composition, or you can click on icon here, or you can press Ctrl+N to create a new composition. Just name it Tutorial 8 Working with Layers. Leave the rest at default, duration 10 seconds, hit OK. So new composition is created. Now let's create a few objects. So in order to create a new object, the shortcut is Control plus Y on your Windows or Command plus Y on your Mac. Just press Control plus Y and a new solid icon will appear. Just name it, let's say 1, make comp size, orange color, hit OK. So now we have 4 solids, 1, 2, 3 and 4. If we change the order of the layers, the layer on the top will be viewed and the layer of the bottom will get hidden. This is the layer based system. So if we move the green solid above the purple solid to number 1, we will see we can view the green solid. In order to select multiple layers, you can click one layer, hold Ctrl and select other layers, or just select the first one, hold Shift and select the last one, and all the layers will get selected. To open up any property, layer property, you can press the shortcut keys on your keyboard and they will pop up. For example, if I select the green solid and press P on my keyboard, the position will come up. The shortcut for opacity is not O, but it is T. So if you hit T on your keyboard, opacity will pop up. Now just select all the layers, press T on your keyboard and it will open up for all the layers. If you want to change any property, do it in a normal way. Click, move your mouse and the property will change for all the objects. As you can see, since all the objects are selected, if I change the opacity of all the objects is being changed. For now, we don't want opacity. We need to change the size. So for size, press S. Scale will come up. And then let's bring that down to 25%. Okay. Now let's bring up the position. And let's deselect them and then move them one by one in the x-axis. As you can see, all the 4 solids are arranged. If you want to move them together, just select them all at once and change the position and they will all move at once. Now you can see here the green is above the purple. Since the purple is layer number 2, green is layer number 1, and all the layers below layer number 1 will be hidden by the layer 1. If we change the order, for example, we bring the blue on top of the purple, you can see the purple is below the green and blue and hence it is being hidden by both the layers. And this is how basically you work with the layers. One last thing that I want you to know is that the color of the layers over here, you can change them by clicking this icon next to the number of the layer number. Just click it and you can select any color you want. For example, I will select green for the green solid, purple for the purple solid, and blue for the blue solid, orange for the orange solid. As you can see, these layers are now easy to see and understand since we have colored them as we need. Let's start off by creating a new composition quickly. Hit Ctrl plus N, name it tutorial 9, hit OK. Quickly, let's create a few objects to animate. So let's press Ctrl plus Y to create solids. Let's name it purple. Make comp size, hit OK, and make another one. Make it green. We'll make it nice and grainy and hit OK. Now, one more thing that I need to teach you here is that if you want to hide any layer, for example, you want to view the purple and you don't want to view the green, without changing the order, if you don't want to view any layer, just press this eye, click it to shut the eye off, and then that layer will exist there, but we cannot see it. So let's quickly jump into the animation, but before that let's make the object a little smaller. So press S on your keyboard to bring up scale, make it 20%. Alright, and then let's animate this. Press P on your keyboard. Now, in order to animate, just make sure the current time indicator is at the start, select the layer, and if you want to animate anything in After Effects, you have to apply keyframes to it. So in order to apply the keyframes, just click on the stopwatch right over here. Just click on the stopwatch and it will apply a keyframe at the position where your current time indicator is. Let's say we want this object to be on the lower left corner when we start the animation. Let's change the positions like so, and let's say we want it to go to the upper right corner within 2 seconds. So let's move the current time indicator to 2 seconds. Let's change the position to where we want the object to be, and done. As you can see, if you move your current time indicator, you will see that from your starting keyframe to the last keyframe, the program has automatically given a few frames of animation so that it can get from point A to point B. And if we want to preview this, we can just press 0 of the numpad of our keyboards and we can preview the animation. As you can see, we have animated the object from point A to point B. Now we can apply different animations. For example, we can bring the current time indicator to 0 again. Open up another property while viewing this property by pressing Shift and pressing R to bring up the rotation. Now click the stopwatch on the rotation and go to 2 seconds, and we will put 2 rotations. So let's play this and let's see how the animation ended up. And as you can see, our rectangle is rotating 2 times before reaching point P, as we have set the animation to be. Animating objects is really easy in After Effects and very user friendly, as you can see already over here. What is rendering? Rendering is basically reference to exporting your work or your project from After Effects to the other platforms where people can view the movie or clips or any animation that you have made. So in order to render our animation, we need to create one animation, and since we just learned how to create an animation, I will quickly create one small animation in front of you to demonstrate you, and then we can render it out and learn many new things. So let's quickly start off by creating new composition. Ctrl+N, tutorial 10, rendering clips and still images. Leave it at default, hit OK. Now let's create a few objects. Green. Okay, so I will quickly animate these, select both of them, Press S, scale them down, press P, change their position, and let's move the time to 2 seconds. Let's bring them in the center a bit. So let's decide where we want them to start off from. Let's move it to the left, move this one to the right, scale them up, like so, hit the opacity to 0, and let's bring the rotation also, hit stopwatch, and let's go to 2 seconds and 2 rotations. Now let's play this animation. As you can see, this is our animation. Now let's go to render this animation. In order to render the animation, what we have to do here is go to composition, add to render queue, select that, and then a render queue will open where you can select various options on how to render. Now the output module are the settings of how are you going to export your project, that is render your project, and in what format. We have first option as format, we have AIFF, AVI, FLV, MP3. For the purpose of this tutorial, let's select QuickTime and leave these settings. Now resize is resizing in the required dimensions. We don't want to resize it, we don't even want to crop that, and we don't have an audio. But if we did have an audio, we have to check this in order to get the audio in our render, and we can change the audio options from over here and then hit OK. Now output 2, we can click and change the name and the place where it is getting saved to, and hit save, and then click on the render option over here to render them up. Click it, and our render is done, and we can now watch our clip wherever it was saved. As you can see, here is our animation. So guys, that's it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching.